The Duggar family, once known for their reality television show *19 Kids and Counting*, has faced intense public scrutiny over the years, particularly due to legal troubles involving several family members. Among the most high-profile cases is that of Josh Duggar, the eldest son, who was convicted in 2021 on child pornography charges. His trial, which took place in April 2022, reignited media attention and placed additional pressure on the entire Duggar family. While the case primarily centered on Josh's actions, it also brought renewed focus on how the family managed their personal affairs during this turbulent time. Anna Duggar, Josh's wife, found herself under increased public and media observation as well, especially regarding her financial decisions. One notable development occurred just weeks before Josh's trial began, when Anna sold a home through her LLC. This transaction raised questions about the timing and potential motivations behind the sale, given the impending legal proceedings. Some speculated whether the sale was a strategic move to protect assets or simply a routine real estate decision. Regardless, the event added another layer of complexity to an already challenging period for the family. As the trial concluded and the dust settled, the property eventually returned to the market, drawing further interest from both real estate buyers and the public. This article will explore the circumstances surrounding Anna Duggar's decision to sell the home through her LLC, the possible implications of the sale in relation to Josh Duggar's trial, and why the property has now reappeared on the market. By examining these factors, we can gain a clearer understanding of how legal and financial considerations intersected during this difficult chapter for the Duggar family. Anna Duggar's decision to sell a home through her LLC shortly before Josh Duggar's trial raised eyebrows among legal experts and observers following the family's financial dealings. While real estate transactions are often driven by personal or economic factors, the timing of this sale sparked speculation about its potential legal implications. Selling property through an LLC is a common practice used to maintain privacy and protect assets. But in this case, the proximity to a high-profile criminal trial led some to question whether the transaction was part of a broader strategy to shield assets from potential legal consequences. Legal analysts have pointed out that asset protection strategies often come into play when individuals face significant legal exposure. In cases where a defendant may be subject to fines, restitution, or civil lawsuits, transferring assets into an LLC or other legal entity can sometimes make them more difficult to seize. However, courts typically scrutinize such moves, especially if they occur close to legal proceedings, and may view them as attempts to evade financial responsibility. If prosecutors had sought restitution or financial penalties related to Josh Duggar's case, Anna's sale could have been examined for any signs of financial maneuvering. Beyond legal concerns, there were also practical reasons that might explain the sale. Anna Duggar has been involved in various business ventures, including her line of clothing and accessories, and managing real estate through an LLC aligns with standard business practices for entrepreneurs. Additionally, fluctuations in the housing market, changes in personal living arrangements, or financial planning considerations could have played a role in the decision. Despite these possibilities, the timing of the sale, just weeks before a major legal proceeding involving her husband, naturally drew attention and fueled speculation. The news of Anna Duggar selling a home through her LLC shortly before Josh Duggar's trial quickly gained traction across social media platforms, sparking widespread debate and speculation. Many users on Twitter, Facebook, and Reddit expressed skepticism about the timing of the transaction, with some suggesting it was an attempt to conceal assets amid the looming legal consequences for Josh. Comments ranged from accusations of financial manipulation to discussions about how the Duggar family had historically handled crises behind closed doors. On TikTok, influencers and content creators dissected the situation, offering theories about potential motives behind the sale, while others defended Anna, arguing that real estate transactions through LLCs are common business practices and not necessarily indicative of wrongdoing. News outlets and entertainment websites also seized upon the story, with headlines highlighting the suspicious timing of the sale. Tabloid publications framed the transaction as a possible effort to protect assets ahead of Josh Duggar's sentencing, while more mainstream media sources approached the topic with a slightly more neutral tone, acknowledging both the possibility of legal maneuvering and the legitimacy of standard business operations. Investigative journalists probed deeper into Anna Duggar's financial history, tracing past property acquisitions and sales to determine patterns that might indicate a broader trend of asset management. Meanwhile, legal commentators weighed in on the potential ramifications, noting that while asset transfers before legal proceedings are not inherently illegal, they can be scrutinized if they appear designed to hinder legal accountability. Public perception of the Duggar family has long been shaped by controversy, and this latest development only reinforced existing skepticism toward their financial dealings. For many, the sale represented yet another example of the family attempting to navigate legal challenges while maintaining a level of financial stability. Others viewed it as a calculated move, reinforcing the idea that the Duggars operate with a sense of privilege and insulation from legal repercussions. Whether seen as a defensive financial strategy or an opportunistic maneuver, the transaction undeniably contributed to the ongoing narrative of secrecy and controversy surrounding the family. Despite being sold through Anna Duggar's LLC just weeks before Josh Duggar's trial, the property has since reappeared on the real estate market, raising questions about the circumstances surrounding the original transaction. While the initial sale appeared to be a completed deal, the swift return of the home to the listings suggests that either the transaction did not fully finalize or new developments prompted the change. Real estate records indicate that the property, located in northwest Arkansas, remains in the same ownership structure, leading some industry professionals to speculate that the earlier sale may have been structured as a short-term transfer rather than a permanent disposition. One possible explanation for the home returning to the market is that the initial buyer was unable to secure financing or decided against moving forward with the purchase after learning about the legal scrutiny surrounding the Duggar family. Alternatively, the sale may have been conditional, with contingencies tied to external factors such as Josh Duggar's trial outcome. Given the heightened media attention and public backlash following the trial, potential buyers may have hesitated to proceed with such a high-profile transaction, fearing reputational risks or complications arising from the family's legal entanglements. Another theory centers around financial considerations within the Duggar household, with Josh Duggar facing a lengthy prison sentence and potential legal costs. The family may have reassessed their financial position and determined that retaining or liquidating certain assets would be necessary. If the original sale did not provide the expected financial benefits, or if unforeseen expenses arose, removing the property from escrow and relisting it could allow for renegotiation at a different price point or under revised terms. Real estate agents familiar with similar cases note that high-profile individuals often adjust their strategies based on evolving legal and financial landscapes, sometimes reversing or restructuring deals when circumstances shift unexpectedly. The reappearance of the property on the real estate market underscores the ongoing financial and legal complexities faced by the Duggar family in the wake of Josh Duggar's conviction. As the family continues to navigate the aftermath of his sentencing, the fluctuating status of their assets highlights the broader challenges of managing personal wealth amid legal uncertainty. Whether intentional or circumstantial, the reversal of the home sale serves as a reminder of how legal proceedings can influence financial decisions, particularly for families in the public eye. The Duggars have long maintained a carefully curated image of prosperity and stability, but recent developments suggest that beneath the surface, they are grappling with the tangible consequences of Josh Duggar's legal troubles. Looking ahead, the family's financial trajectory remains uncertain. With Josh facing a decades-long prison sentence and potential restitution payments, the Duggars may need to reassess their financial strategies moving forward. Future real estate transactions, business ventures, and personal expenditures could all be influenced by legal obligations and public perception. Additionally, Anna Duggar's continued involvement in business and property dealings will likely remain under scrutiny, as observers continue to analyze her financial moves in relation to her husband's legal situation. The Duggar family's ability to maintain their lifestyle and business interests will depend not only on their financial resources, but also on how effectively they manage the intersection of legal accountability and public reputation. The Duggar family, known for their reality television show *19 Kids and Counting*, has remained a prominent figure in pop culture due to their large family, conservative values, and the controversies that have surrounded them over the years. Jim Bob and Michelle Duggar raised 19 children, many of whom have since started families of their own. As the patriarch of the family, Jim Bob Duggar has often been viewed as a central decision-maker, particularly when it comes to financial matters. His business ventures, including running a now-closed retail store called Glory Days and investing in real estate, have contributed to the family's overall wealth. However, with such visibility comes intense public scrutiny, especially regarding how the family manages its finances. Recent speculation has centered around whether Jim Bob Duggar purchased a $1 million home for his daughter-in-law, Anna Duggar, the wife of Josh Duggar. This rumor gained traction after property records revealed that a house in Springdale, Arkansas, was bought under an LLC named JMD Homes, LLC. While the name does not directly reference Jim Bob, some speculate that the initials could stand for him or another family member. The timing of the purchase also raised eyebrows, coming shortly after Josh Duggar's release from federal prison following a child pornography conviction. Given the family's history of making headlines for both personal and financial decisions, this latest development has fueled widespread discussion among fans and critics alike. Public records indicate that the house in question is a luxury residence located in Springdale, Arkansas, valued at approximately $1 million. According to property filings, the home was purchased through an LLC named JMD Homes, LLC. While the entity's exact ownership remains undisclosed, the transaction has drawn attention due to its high value and the potential connection to the Duggar family. Some have speculated that JMD may refer to Jim Bob Duggar, given his known involvement in real estate investments. Others suggest it could stand for Josh or another family member, though no official confirmation has been provided. The revelation of this purchase quickly sparked discussions on social media and within fan communities, particularly among those who follow the Duggars closely. Many were surprised by the reported price tag, considering that several Duggar children live in modest homes, often purchasing properties well below the $500,000 range. The fact that this particular home was acquired through an LLC rather than a direct purchase further fueled speculation about its intended occupant. Some observers noted that if the house was indeed meant for Anna Duggar and her children, it would be an unusually generous gesture, especially given the family's previously frugal reputation. Others questioned why the home was placed under an LLC rather than in Anna's name directly, leading to theories about potential financial maneuvering or asset protection strategies. As news of the transaction spread, online forums and comment sections became filled with debates about the implications of the purchase. Some fans expressed support, suggesting that the Duggar family might simply be helping Anna during a difficult time following Josh Duggar's legal troubles. Meanwhile, critics raised concerns about the ethics of such a gift, particularly given the controversy surrounding Josh's past actions. The lack of an official statement from the family only intensified the mystery, prompting further speculation about the true nature of the transaction. If Jim Bob Duggar did, in fact, buy the $1 million home for Anna Duggar, There could be several motivations behind such a significant financial gesture. One possibility is that he sought to provide stability for Anna and her 3 children amid the challenges they have faced following Josh Duggar's legal troubles. After serving a federal prison sentence for possessing child pornography, Josh was released in December 2023, and the family has since been navigating life under increased public scrutiny. A new home could offer Anna a fresh start, shielding her and her children from unwanted attention while ensuring they have access to a comfortable living environment. Additionally, given the Duggar family's strong emphasis on supporting one another, it is plausible that Jim Bob wanted to assist his daughter-in-law during a difficult period, reinforcing the notion that the family stands together despite external criticism. Another potential reason for the purchase could be tied to financial planning or asset protection strategies. If the home was acquired through an LLC, it may serve as a means of safeguarding assets from potential legal complications related to Josh Duggar's past convictions. In some cases, individuals facing ongoing legal repercussions or public backlash may place property under an LLC to separate personal assets from any future liabilities. This approach could help ensure that Anna and her children retain a secure residence regardless of any additional legal developments involving Josh. Furthermore, given the Duggar family's extensive real estate holdings and previous use of LLCs for property transactions, this move may simply align with their established financial practices rather than being an extraordinary act of generosity. However, these potential explanations remain speculative, as no definitive evidence has emerged to confirm the extent of Jim Bob Duggar's involvement in the purchase. Without an official statement from the family, analysts and followers can only theorize based on available information and past patterns of behavior. The Duggar family has a long-standing pattern of providing financial assistance to their adult children, particularly when it comes to major life events such as marriage, starting a family, or purchasing a home. Jim Bob and Michelle Duggar have frequently helped their sons and daughters acquire real estate, sometimes buying properties outright or offering down payments. For example, several of their children, including Jill Duggar and Jessa Seawold, received homes from their parents early in their marriages. These transactions were often conducted discreetly, without public announcement, but became widely known through updates shared by the family or uncovered by fans tracking their real estate dealings. The use of LLCs in property purchases has also been a recurring theme, allowing the family to maintain some level of privacy while managing their various financial investments. In comparison to past instances where the Duggars financially supported their children, the reported $1 million home purchase for Anna Duggar appears to be an outlier in terms of scale. Most of the homes gifted to Duggar children have been valued significantly lower, often falling within the $200,000 to $400,000 range. This makes the reported $1 million investment particularly notable, raising questions about whether this was a standard act of familial support or something more strategic. Additionally, while previous home gifts were typically made directly to married couples, this case involves a daughter-in-law whose spouse has faced serious legal consequences. If Jim Bob Duggar did facilitate this purchase, it could signal an effort to provide extra financial security for Anna and her children, especially given the uncertainty surrounding Josh Duggar's future. Whether this represents a shift in the family's financial support system or simply an extension of their usual generosity remains unclear, but it certainly distinguishes this transaction from earlier examples of their financial aid. While the circumstantial evidence linking Jim Bob Duggar to the $1 million home purchase for Anna Duggar is compelling, it remains inconclusive. Property records indicate that the home was acquired through JMD Homes, LLC, an entity whose full ownership has not been disclosed. Given Jim Bob Duggar's documented involvement in real estate transactions and his tendency to assist family members with housing, it is reasonable to speculate that he may have played a role in the deal. However, The absence of direct documentation confirming his involvement leaves room for alternative explanations. It is possible that another individual or family member, perhaps even Josh Duggar himself, utilized that LLC structure to conceal the source of funding, either for privacy reasons or to manage financial obligations stemming from his recent legal issues. Additionally, the lack of a public statement from the Duggar family adds another layer of ambiguity to the situation. Historically, the family has been selective in addressing rumors, often choosing silence over clarification unless a matter reaches a certain level of public prominence. This reticence makes it difficult to determine whether the purchase was a deliberate act of support or an unrelated investment. Until further details emerge, such as tax records, mortgage information, or an official acknowledgement from the family, any conclusions drawn about Jim Bob Duggar's involvement will remain speculative. For now, the mystery persists, leaving both supporters and skeptics to weigh the possibilities based on the available information.